Welcome back to school. Today's lesson is going to be graphing inequalities on a number line. These problems have a few different steps, but none of the steps should be too difficult. There are just a couple main rules to follow and to get used to. So go ahead and pause this video whenever you need to in order to copy down the notes. We have our three main goals. Goal number 2 is extra long. If you read through it and don't feel the need to copy it down, that is perfectly fine. We are going to be solving inequalities just like we do with equations by isolating variables. Goal 2, recognize the difference between greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. So those symbols, those four different symbols have different meanings. And then for goal number 3, after we isolate our variables, we're going to be graphing inequalities on number lines. And I'm going to try and make that as simple as possible. So for our notes, the formatting came out a little weird, but we have our symbols. So the little bird mouths, greater than, less than. We want to remember that the little bird or the alligator eats the greater number. So whatever side it's facing shows which side is greater. For greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to, notice that there is a line under our inequality symbol. So the line means that it's possible for the value to be equal, not just greater than or less than. So goal 2, it's a lot easier to write it in note version than copy down the actual goal. So if we have this is showing that x is greater than 4. That means that our x value could be any number greater than 4. So there are an infinite number of correct answers. And when we graph them on a number line, what I'll have you do when we're graphing today is you're going to have 5 numbers on each number line, because more than that is just not necessary. And our number in our inequality is going to be in the middle. So we have 4, 5, 6, 3, 2. So 5 numbers for each number line, and the middle number is going to be the final number in the inequality. So we want to show that x can be any number greater than 4. And it has to be bigger than 4 because it's not greater than or equal to 4. So I'm going to put an empty circle at 4 because that shows that it can't be 4. And I'm going to shade towards all the numbers bigger than 4. So I'm shading over here. I could use like a highlighter if I really want to. And this implies that my shading would extend all the way to infinity as long as the numbers are bigger than 4. If I had another example, like x is less than or equal to 1, my number line would look similar. I'm going to have 5 numbers on my number line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 is going to be in the middle. So 2, 3, 0, -1. And this time, it's x is less than or equal to. So my circle is going to be shaded in because it's possible that x is equal to 1. So the difference between our two graphs, the empty circle showed greater than, the filled in circle is less than or equal to. So if there's a line underneath the alligator, our circle is going to be filled in. And we're going to shade in towards numbers that are less than 1. And that represents all the numbers that could possibly be less than 1. So your examples are going to look something like this. The inequalities themselves are fairly simple. I'm not trying to make the math extra complicated. You're going to solve the inequality like a typical equation and then graph it on a number line. So minus 5, 2x is less than 8. And then we're going to divide both sides by 2. And we have x is less than 4. So that is worth 1 point. And then on our number line, 5 numbers, 4 is in the middle. It's less than 4, so I have an empty circle, and I have highlighted towards numbers that are less than 4. Number 2, 3x minus 4 is less than or equal to 20. Add 4, 3x is less than or equal to 24. Divide by 3, x is less than or equal to 8. Number line, 8 is in the middle. I have a filled in circle at 8 because it's less than or equal to, and then I'm going to highlight left of 8. Okay, got a couple different rules to follow here. So we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. That's easy. We have negative 4x is less than 12. And the tricky part here is going to be to understand that whenever we divide or multiply both sides by a negative number, we are going to have to flip the inequality. So we're going to have x here, we're going to have negative 3 here, but we have to flip the inequality. So the alligator is going to be eating the x now. And this step just saves time, because what we could realistically do is if we, I'll put it up here, if we had negative 4x is less than 12, if we wanted our x value to be positive, we could add 4x to both sides and then subtract 12 from both sides, and we would have negative 12 is less than 4x. And then when we divide both sides by 4, we have negative 3 is less than x. So by adding to get rid of the negative, the x switches sides. So in order to show that it switches sides, we're just going to flip the symbol around. That will save some time. Hopefully my explanation made it easier, not more complicated. But it is difficult to remember that whenever you have to divide or multiply both sides by a negative, you need to flip the symbol. So I have 5 numbers on a number line, negative 3 being in the middle. I have an empty circle at negative 3, and x is greater than negative 3. Okay. Another example that's a little unique. We have 6x minus 1 does not equal 17. So the solving is going to be very similar. 6x does not equal 18. Divide both sides by 6. X does not equal 3. So that means that x could be any number in the world except 3. So 3 is still going to be in the middle of our number line. It is not 3. So we're going to shade in both directions because it can be anything except 3. I know I'm going a little fast. If you have questions, make sure you come talk to me. Okay. Finally, your turn. Go ahead and pause it and try it. Because if you can do question 5, you're probably in good shape to do the rest of these. Okay, I'm sure that you paused the video and actually did it and didn't just wait for me to do it. You should have added 5 to both sides. Negative 4x greater than or equal to 12. Divide both sides by negative 4x, and then negative 3, and we have to flip the alligator. X is less than or equal to negative 3. Oh, my number lines are getting worse and worse. All right. Negative 3 is in the middle. Filled in circle at negative 3 because it's less than or equal to, and we're shading towards numbers that are less than negative 3. Last problem. Pause it and try it. Okay. 3x ends up being less than 18 after we subtract 10 from both sides. Divide both sides by 3. X is less than 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Empty circle at 6, shading towards numbers that are less than 6. So 2 points for each problem, 1 for our final answer, and 1 for our graph. Good luck.